All right. Shalom, 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 yashalom, shalom. Right before we get started, I'm gonna make sure that the sound quality is good. And we got right. Bear with me. We got right. All right, bear with me. Ah. All right. Shalom, 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 yashar Allah, shalom. All right. Kol halayam la, abanawa, alahaya nawa, Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Warachaha Kodash, Shabbat Shemayim, Barak Ataya Hawa, Barak Ataya Hawa Shai, Barak Ataya Hawa, Barak Ataya Hawa Shai, Barak Ataya Hawa, Barak Ataya Hawa Shai, Bahashim, Warachaha Kodash, Shabbat Shemayim. Wara Abi Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai Kayarachaha Kodash Shabbat Shemayim. Right? That's what I said in the ancient Hebrew tongue, right? Kol halayim la. All praises to Abanawa, our Father, Alahaya Nawa, our God, Yahweh, which the world ignorantly calls God, which his name in the Hebrew is Yahweh, which means he is, he exists, he to be. All right. Bahashim, in the name, Yahweh Shai, which the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, which his name in the Hebrew is Yahweh Shai. All right. Which means he saves, he delivers. He is the deliverer for the nation of Yashar Allah in general, for you so-called blacks, Latinos, Native Indians, man. Right? Us Hebrew Israelites. All right. Hey, the water, brother. Bahashim in the name, Warucha HaKodash, and the Holy Spirit, Shabbat Shemayim, which art in heaven. All right. Barak Ataya Hawa. Barak Ataya Hawa Shai. Bless you, Yahweh. Bless you, Yahweh Shai. All right. Bahashim in the name, Warucha HaKodash, and the Holy Spirit, Shabbat Shemayim, which art in heaven. And also, the Wara Bihal Bashmil Shai for the HaKodash. All right. I'd like to also give double honors to the elders and apostles, a great millstone that rule well and teach well. Peace and salutations to the hopeful elect scattered abroad. You sincere Akim, Wa Akwa, that shall tune in or tune in afterwards. Apparatus out that this lesson is edifying and exhorting unto you. All right. This lesson is coming to you through the spirit and power of Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Apparatus out, in hopes to edify the flock. All right. Shalom to the brother. Shalom, Yahweh Hashem, Shai, Barakatah. All right. So this is going to be a real quick hit in the news. Prophecy Watch World War III. All right. Because as you always know, the topics is always about biblical prophecy. Always about prophecy. All right. So I got these 3 articles. We're going to go into them and bring forth some scriptures to bring some light to them. All right. To show how they correlate today. All right. Or how the scriptures correlate today. Or coincide today in general. All right. So we're going to share the screen. We're going to get started. All right. This says World War III fears in chilling move. Russia stations 18 nuke bombers near NATO nations border. You want to talk about a sign of aggression? Yeah, these motherfuckers is not playing. Look at this shit. They say, yeah, we finna, and this is right at the border. All these warplanes, man. They got the nuclear bombers, right? And they got their damn jet fighters, man. They're fighter jets, all right? So this just goes to show you that they are truly dying to let off fucking rounds of these fucking nuclear warheads, man. Right? They want to let these missiles go. They want to let these fucking nuclear missiles go to utterly destroy Babylon, man. Because look, it's not at the borders of any other nation, but it's at the borders of who? What nations? The NATO border, man. NATO border. All right, so let's get into this. It says Russian President Vladimir Putin has chillingly stationed 18 nuclear-capable tactical bombers, man. Meaning what? Tactical in the sense of these nuclear bombers, they're stealth. You won't be able to detect them, right? Bombers near the NATO border in a stark caution to the west. Wait, the west where? Here. America, Babylon the Great, aka America, because they're also trying to antagonize Babylon by trying to fuck around with the other NATO alliances, because the Russians know that if they antagonize the NATO alliance and try to start some sort of conflict with the NATO alliance, that America, Babylon the Great, aka America, has to intervene and step in as the big brother, as they say they are, right? But at the end of the day, that's what these niggas want, man. That's what the Russians want. And it's all through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Shai, man. Damn, look, it says 144 down with a thumbs down, man. These motherfuckers. All right. Yeah, go long like Yahweh Shem Shai. Hopeful electing. All right. Let's keep going. There's a halting new satellite image exposes the extent of this display. Hell yeah. Look at this shit. This is very, very intricate, man. They are not playing. They got these things in a ready fashion formation, man. They're like, yo, if shit pops off, we can launch these damn bombers. We can launch the damn fighter jets so we can protect the bombers, because that's how it happens in the air. All right, you got these nuclear bombers that go up in the air. You have these jet fighters, fly, to protect the bomber just in case any opposing enemies try to take them down. All right, well, let's keep reading. Right, it says revealing the variety of these nuclear jets readied at Anali or Alenia, whatever, airbase on Russia's Kola Peninsula, simply 130 miles from where? Finland and Norway. Finland is literally officially this year a part of NATO, and so is Norway. All right, so it goes to show you, man, the act of aggression from the Russians is very heavy, right? They desire to have war happen. They desire to spark war, man, right? But that's not of their own accord. It's all through the spirit and power of Hashem Yahweh Shai, because he needs to make good Bible prophecy come into fruition, man. And this is how he's doing it, through these people, right? Because it's predestined that way anyway. All right, let's see what else it says. The intimidating display, right? Because they're also kind of, poking prod at the bear, right? They're trying to antagonize these other NATO nations, right? Which was captured on May 7th, including the powerful Tu-160 bomber, all right, designed to release missiles at opponent targets in remote areas. So meaning each and every individual missile has its own predestined location to go, man. All they got to do is hit the button, drop the missiles, and they go scattering across wherever it's like they received orders. All right, you're gonna go here. You're gonna go here, right? They've been programmed each and every missile, right? And this just goes to show you that they are not playing, man. They are truly, Yahweh Shem Yahshua is truly about to make World War III come to pass, but on a grievous manner, man, on a grave scale. All right, just like the scripture says, when all these missiles, that are going to be launched off from all these other nations that bend the bow, they're not going to miss their mark. Look, they should start putting things together like, they are really programming missiles now to hit certain areas, and they're not going to miss their mark, man, because these missiles are going to be undetectable, right? And they're going to be able to evade attack. So that should spark some sort of, concern, like, oh shit, this is potentially going to happen in the near future, all right? Let's keep reading on. Let's see. It comes aimed growing diplomatic tension in between the world powers, right? Which is really the world powers right now. The president here in America, and honestly, all the presidents around the world, the so-called high politically empowered people, right? But it's saying that there's tension between the world powers right now, which is honestly not real. There's no real tension. It's really all these other nations that have a problem with America. So that's just the world power literally having evil eyes for this place, the West. So it tells you back up here, where do they, where does it have caution, stark caution to? The West, man, here, Babylon the Great, aka America. All right. So let's read the rest of this, and we're gonna grab the scripture. Now, we'll actually go to the article. Now, sparked by the UK's statement that they are sending weapons to Ukraine to repel Putin's forces, his threats of nuclear escalation. Look, man, they are massing their military, their ground forces, all right, their nuclear capabilities, all right. They are literally doing this because they are truly in that spirit of war, man. All right, all these other nations are truly in that spirit of war, but you got the niggas here in Babylon the Great, aka America, still worried about the wrong fucking thing. Especially the ones that are in the military. They're a bunch of fucking sodomites and shit, right? Not real warriors. Meanwhile, you got the women over here in these other nations that are more warrior oriented than the men here in general. How much more so the women here, right? Because the fucking women here, they act like they on a level. They act like they about it. Well, when that fucking draft happens, we're gonna see how tough you women are, how high-minded you are in that day. Fucking so-called independent, strong bitch women, right? The ones that believe themselves to be Wonder Women and all them fucking female warriors. Man. You're gonna see it in that day. You have these niggas come after you, and you're in the Valley of Jehoshaphat getting judged, all right? And judged by any means, whether it be get ravished to death, or shot to death, exploded, whatever it may be. You're gonna be judged over there in the Valley of Jehoshaphat, which is the Valley of Yahweh-Shaphat, Yahweh's judgment. All right. So stop this. Share the screen for the other article. Right. Okay. It says Russia scrambles just as France, Germany conduct NATO patrols. Why are they doing that? Because they cannot just bring out that Russia has brought forth Russia brought forth and stationed 18 of their nuclear bombers near the border of a NATO nation, man, which is Finland and Norway, man, right? So now they're doing their patrols to see, what type of activity Russia's on, all right? France and Germany, right? But also Russia, they scrambled their jets too. They ready, man. They are ready to push the fucking button. They are ready to fight. Are you? Right, it says Russia Defense Ministry scrambled a fighter jet on Monday after it said it detected French and German patrol aircraft flying toward Russian airspace. The ministry said in a statement, correct? It says France and Germany sent its planes, a French Atlantic II maritime patrol aircraft, and a German P-3C Orion, right, which these Orion aircraft, they can actually go into lower orbit, right? Trying to make it seem like they can go into space or whatever with a space name, Orion and all that shit, because the Orion star cluster, look, they're not supposed to be detectable, but look, they were detected though. All right. Anyway, that's besides the point. All right, we're conducting regular flights as part of a NATO exercise, right? Quote unquote NATO exercise, that is, right? And behave in accordance with international law. All right. Russia said that the Su-27 jet returned to base after the French and German ones turned away from the defense ministry, said, adding that it had scrambled the jet to prevent the Russian state border being violated. All right. So this just goes to show you, man, look, these nations, man, these other nations are truly in that spirit of war. Who is truly antagonized the most, man? Who is truly being provoked? Who is being stirred up the most? The Medes, man, the Russians. All right. I'm going to bring that scripture forth as well. All right. So let's get this last article, and then we'll go forth from there to put forth some scriptures. Let me see if I have them. Okay. All right. The last one, and then we'll get into the scriptures. All right. Everything is Russia, Russia, Russia. All right. Lately, it's been a lot of Russia, 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 this, Russia, that. All right. Because Yahweh Shem Shai is truly doing what? He's stirring up the Medes, man. Russians, so-called Russians. All right. It says Russia claims downing Storm Shadow missile for the first time. All right, and remember, those Storm Shadow missiles were the ones that who sent over there? UK, right? The British, right? Are they not a part of NATO? They are. All right, let's read into this. It says Russian Defense Ministry said for the first time that the Russians, or that Russian troops had intercepted a Storm Shadow long-range missile supplied to Ukraine by the UK. All right. Earlier, the ministry claimed Ukrainian forces had struck industrial facilities in the occupied city of Luhansk on May 12th with a Storm Shadow rocket. However, according to the Institute for the Study of War, what the fuck? I've never heard of that shit. Anyway, there is no visual confirmation that the Ukrainian army has already used those missiles to hit Russia or Russian positions in Ukraine. Right? So in other words, the Russians are trying to say that their capabilities are so up to par and so keen, right, that they're able to, take out these new modern missiles. They're called Storm Shadow rockets, all right, or Storm Shadow missiles, right? Right, these rockets are actually able to literally fly faster, they're more undetectable, more modern, right? All right, it tells you right here, it says missile is deployed from a fighting jet. The missile follows a low flight path guided by GPS and terrain mapping of the target area. As the missile approaches the target area, it gains altitude and then hunts into a dive. So literally, these are the regular harpoon missiles that the Russians have, and obviously the Americans have too. All right, but this is the Storm Shadow missile. So the speed of the harpoon missiles go 537 miles per hour. This one goes 600. The range of the harpoon missile goes 150 miles range, right, which is really short range. And the Storm Shadow missile goes 350 miles long, right? The length of it is 16 feet 9 inches. This one's just 12. So basically, you got a bigger payload with actual maximum range, though. It's long distance. So they're trying to say that they shot down these high-tech missiles, and they didn't. In other words, just to provoke these other, the Ukrainians to actually shoot one over there to see how much more damage it'll take, how much faster it'll get there, stuff in that manner, man. Right? This is all just to provoke these other nations, man. All just to provoke NATO in general, but also who do they truly want to fight against? America, man. Babylon the Great, aka America. Right? So let's get into the scriptures. Let's dive in. All right. We're gonna open up. Let's see. Let's share the screen. Go to the blue letter. We're gonna go open up with the book of Matthew. The book of Matthew, chapter 6, or Salakia, chapter 24, verse 6 to 8. All right, it says, "And you shall hear of wars and rumors of wars." Right? Are we not hearing about wars? Right? There's skirmishes over there in Sudan, right? That civil war, right? There's the conflict that's going on, right? The Russians and the Ukrainians. Anyway, right? Then you got the conflict that's happening over there in Gaza and Israel, man. All right, China's still threatening Taiwan, and now Russia is threatening the UK for because them they have given the Ukrainians those high-tech missiles, man. Those high-tech missiles that have that are capable of actually destroying a lot of shit in the Russian territory, man. All right, but at the end of the day, it is what it is. It's all through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashmi Al-Shai. The Russians are always going to prevail over these other nations because they're going to be the ones to ultimately send the missiles over here with all these other nations that bend the bow. They're all going to be on one accord, right? One alliance. They're going to launch a full-fledged nuclear, invasion via these nuclear fucking missiles, man. All right, that are going to come here to Babylon the Great, aka America, to utterly destroy this place, man. All right. It says, "See that ye be not troubled. For all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet." And why is that, man? Why is the end not yet? because there's other biblical prophecies that need to soon to come to pass before the thermonuclear destruction of Babylon the Great, aka America, happens. All right. For an example, the mandatoryization of the MOTB, which is the mark of the beast, right, which is that subdermal implantable microcephaly, all right, pertaining to the book of Revelation, chapter 13, verses 14 on down. All right, go read it. Continuing on, this is the book of Matthew, chapter 24, verse 7. It says, "For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. And there shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places." All these are the beginnings of sorrows, man. Right? The beginnings of sorrows. The beginnings of what? The wars and rumors of wars, right? Because this is only the beginning, right? The beginnings of nations rising up against one another. The beginnings of famines, right? Which is what? The shortages of food, right? The lack of food, right? The beginning stages of the pestilences, right? These diseases that are coming forth into the world, man. Right now there's so many new ones that are coming forth, and it's only going to get worse in the near future, man, because this is only the beginning. All right, in the beginning stages of earthquakes in diverse places, man, these so-called natural disasters, right, which is really Yahweh Shemi Shai truly visiting the world in which he made, man. All right, and it's just the beginning. Right, those scriptures that say that there's going to be an earthquake that literally quakes the entire globe, man, the entire planet, right? And that hasn't even happened yet. And that's biblical prophecy as well, soon from the past. But that'll be the day when Yahweh Shemi Shai truly comes and, has those damn nuclear missiles obliterate this bitch, Babylon the Great, aka America. And honestly, there's probably going to be something before that. We don't even know, But let's keep it pushing, all right? Let's get the book of Joel. Actually, no, let's get Salakia. Let's grab the book of Isaiah real quick. Like, since I quoted it earlier, starting up the Medes, let's grab the book of Isaiah, chapter 13, verse 17 over. All right. So it said, the book of Isaiah, chapter 13, verse 17, it says, "Behold, I will stir up the Medes," right? Who's Yahweh Shemi Shai talking about? The Russians, the so-called Russians today, or the Medes, right? "Behold, I, Yahweh Shemi Shai, will stir up the Medes," the Russians, against them. Against who? All these other nations, man. Honestly, truly, just against Babylon the Great, aka America in general. But, it says, "Which shall not regard silver, and as for gold, they shall not delight in it. Their bows also shall dash the young men to pieces, and they shall have no pity on the fruit of the womb." All right. "Their eyes shall not spare children." All right. So when these Russians start letting go these missiles over here, they're not going to be worried about, oh, but they got children over there, man. Maybe we shouldn't do that right there, or in this spot over here because they got kids. Nah, man, they're not going to be worried about that. And it says that they regard what, not silver or gold. They're not going to be bribed with, with money, with materialism in general. They're not going to be bribed by that shit because they are full-fledged warriors, right? They are coming and going to obliterate this bitch, Babylon the Great, aka America, man. All right, it says, "Literally, their eyes shall not spare children," man. They're not going to. All right, it says, "In Babylon, the glory of kingdoms," right? And is this not considered to be a glorious kingdom, right? Esau, Edom, the so-called white man's glorious kingdom. It is. "The beauty of the Chaldees, excellency, shall be as," listen up, "when the Most High Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah." And how did that happen? It happened by basically, the fire and sulfur, right? Basically, in that time, nuclear fire, but it's going to be nuclear fire in this day and age via what? The thermonuclear missiles, man. All right? And this was fire that came from heaven when he burnt Sodom and Gomorrah. When he destroyed that place for all the wickedness that was, being brought forth. All right? Verse 20, it says, "It shall neither be inhabited, neither shall it be dwelt in from generation to generation." Babylon the Great, aka America, here, right? Because it's going to be uninhabitable forever, right? Nobody's going to be able to live here. It's going to be a desolate wasteland, all right? It says, "Neither shall the Arabian pitch tent there, neither shall the shepherds make their fold there. But wild beasts of the desert shall lie there, and their houses shall be full of doleful creatures, and owls shall dwell there, and satyrs shall dance there, and the beasts of the islands shall cry in the desolate houses, and dragons in their pleasant palaces. And her time is near to come. Whose time? Babylon the Great, aka America, right? This place is numbered, man. All right, this place of rulership, this wicked ass rulership, its days are numbered, man. All right, and look what it says after. It says, "And her days shall not be prolonged." All right, so at the end of the day, what's prolonged go into? Let's grab that real quick. Continue for a long time or longer than usual, lengthy. All right, continuous, ongoing, steady. Right, so Esau, Edom's not going to have a steady rulership. It's not going to continue. It's not going to be prolonged. It's going to utterly be destroyed, and its time is near to come, man. All right, this place, Babylon the Great, aka America, is soon to be utterly destroyed by that thermonuclear missiles. All right, those thermonuclear missiles that all these other nations that bend the bow have, man, that are going to shoot over here to obliterate this bitch. All right, this sinful kingdom. All right, let's actually grab that real quick. Grab the book of Amos, chapter 9, verse 8. Right, it says, "Behold, the eyes of the Lord Yahweh, Hashem Yahweh, power, God, right, are upon the sinful kingdom," which is where? Here, America, the United States, Babylon the Great, aka America. But also, this is semantical with 2/3 of our nation, man. Right? Because have we not been given the law, statutes, and commandments to follow? Right? Even though we can't follow them, perfectly, but we can keep them to the best of our ability and rehearse the righteous acts. But 2/3 of our nation is so far gone that they don't want to, follow the law, statutes, and commandments of Yahweh Shem Shai. All right, all these other nations haven't been given the law, statutes, and commandments. All right, it's just us Hebrew Israelites, so-called Black, Latino, Native Indian. All right. So in other words, since Esau, Edom has brought forth wickedness, and 2/3 of our nation have conformed to that wickedness. All right, you are likened unto that sinful kingdom. Especially since we are all here in Babylon the Great, aka America. All right, so 2/3 of our nation are gonna die here. But also, you damn, you heathens, man. And you Edomites and all of you, man. All of you that are here in Babylon the Great, aka America, right? That are not of the elect, are gonna be destroyed, man. All right. It says, "I will destroy from off the face of the earth," right? Meaning what? Via what? Thermonuclear missiles, man. Right? It says destroy it from off the face of the earth. Babylon the Great, aka America, is going to be wiped off the face of the earth. The tumor, the cancer of the planet, is going to be utterly removed via what? Fire, 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 thermonuclear fire, fervent heat that is far unfathomable. All right. So let's keep it moving. It says, "Saving that, I will not utterly destroy the house of Jacob, save the Lord," which I said, which is what? The elect, man. The elect and the 1/3 remnant of men, women, and children, Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai, is going to have mercy upon them. All right. So let's grab. Let's see. Let's grab the book of Jeremiah. All right, since we're talking about the thermonuclear missiles that all these other nations bend the bow, quoted it. All right, let's grab it. All right. So we're going to grab the book of Jeremiah, chapter 50, verse 14, and also verse 29. All right. All right. The book of Jeremiah, chapter 50, verse 14. It says, "Put yourselves in array against Babylon, Babylon the Great, aka America, right? Round about. All ye that bend the bow, shoot at her, spare no arrows, spare no what? No missiles, man. No nuclear missiles. For she hath sinned against the Lord Yahweh." All right. So let's keep going. Let's go to verse 29. It says, "Call together the archers against Babylon, Babylon the Great, aka America, here. All ye that bend the bow," right? All these other nations that have nuclear capability, right? Camp against it round about. And Babylon the Great, aka America, is literally in the midst of the world, right? It's in the middle. You get all these other nations surrounding it, right? So they're going to easily have access to just send missiles in that direction, which is here in the west, Babylon the Great, aka America. All right. It says, "Let none thereof escape. Recompense her according to her work, according to all she hath done. Do unto her, for she hath been proud against the Lord Yahweh." Salakia. against the Holy One of Israel. And does not Babylon the Great, aka America, bring forth and spawn forth pride? Right? Doesn't the scriptures tell you that pride goeth before destruction, and a haughty look, before a fall? And haughty goes into, arrogant, man, prideful, all right, cocky. And does not America have that cocky ass persona? Does not America bring forth a very prideful way of life? Yes, it does, man. All right, yes, it fucking does, and it's going to be utterly destroyed by thermonuclear missiles, man. Thermonuclear missiles that what all these other nations that bend the bow have, which are considered to be what ICBM missiles, man. Intercontinental ballistic missiles. These missiles that can go from one continent to another, man. All right? It's not talking about arrows, somebody just shooting it in the air. Oh, man. It's talking about ICBM missiles, man. Right? ICBM missiles. So let's keep it pushing. Let's get out of this. We're going to have to go to the Apocrypha. And that'll be my last scripture, and then we'll go into what the brothers got on the comment board. So let's see. So like you bear with me, I'm gonna have to open a new tab. Okay, there it is. New tab. And let's go into let's see. Maybe second Hebrews 16, 15, down, KJV. All right. All right, so this is the book of 2nd Esdras, chapter 16, verse 13. It says, "For strong is his right hand that bendeth the bow. His arrows that he shooteth are sharp and shall not miss." Did I not say that earlier? These missiles they're all programmed now to hit their target accurately, surgically, and what will not miss, right? When they begin to be shot into the ends of the world, all right? So when all these other nations that bend the bow, right? All these other nations that bend the bow, I'm telling you, they are not going to miss their mark, right? Because this is talking about it says bendeth the bow, right? Which is the nuclear silos, silos in which the arrow is in, right? Quote unquote, right? The arrow, which is what the ICBM missile, all right? The intercontinental ballistic missile, right? And it says, "and shall not miss." Literally, when it begins to be shot into the ends of the world. Look, these ICBM nuclear missiles are not going to miss their target, man, because Yahweh Bashmi Al-Shai is going to put a spirit upon them, have an angel upon them, directing them straight to their target, man. Yahweh Bashmi Al-Shai is going to surgically destroy Babylon the Great, aka America, all right? Yahweh Bashmi Al-Shai is the ultimate physician, right? And America, Babylon the Great, aka America, is the cancer of the world, right? He's going to surgically remove that tumorous cancer from the earth, man, which is here, man. Babylon the Great, aka America. All right, let's keep it moving. It says, "Behold, the plagues are sent," the ICBM nuclear missiles, "and shall not return again until they come upon the earth." All right, so when they hit the lower atmosphere, go out into space, and then dive down, all right, that's when they're the most undetectable, because look, they're going into the outer atmosphere and then diving right back down, but at hypersonic speeds, man, 17,000 miles per hour, and it's really undetectable, man. And Esau Edom, the so-called white man, has been increasing, his nuclear, capabilities, all right, via these other nations, all right. The Russians are up to par beyond belief, all right. Their missiles literally have their own mind; they have their own consciousness, basically, all right. They're able to evade, detection, and they're also able to have course correction. Right, meaning that they can, evade from being attacked and go right back onto course where they need to be, right? Directly hitting their mark, man, not missing. All right, let's keep going. It says, "The fire is kindled," and the fire from what? The ICBM nuclear missiles, right? And all of these missiles start coming down. They're going to hit America, not hit the ground. They're going to hit 100 feet above the actual threshold of the ground. All right, so you can actually have more of a more destruction, all right, more of a blast radius, right? Because when a missile hits the ground, it actually loses its depth in radiation, or not radiation, radius with explosion, all right? So these nuclear missiles are programmed to literally
know that it's 100 feet over before it hits the ground. That's how you know the technological advancements of Esau Edom, the so-called white man, is something else, man. And we're gonna see something really crazy in the near future, man. All right. But staying on top, these missiles are going to hit 100 feet above the actual foundation of the earth, right, which is over here in Babylon the Great, aka America, is right going to hit 100 feet above it and explode outwardly, right, creating a much more harsher blast radius, which is going to create what? The lake of fire, right? And it's not just one, because one nuclear missile can actually leave a place desolate for years, just one. And this is, when you go into the book of Revelation, if I'm not mistaken, it talks about there's 200,000, right? 200,000 what? 200 million missiles, man, that are part of the Lord of hosts, man. They're part of the Lord of armies, man. It's a part of the Lord's army itself, right? So let's keep reading. It says, and shall not put, let's read it again. It says, the fire is kindled and shall not be put out till it consume the foundation of the earth. It's not talking about the whole earth, all right? It's not talking about the whole earth. We're talking about here in America, Babylon the Great, aka America, here, United States, man. The sinful kingdom, right? It's going to utterly destroy this place. It's not just going to be onesie twosies, man. It's going to be 200 million missiles, man. 200 ICBM nuclear missiles. That's going to create that lake of fire. That is going to what? Burn and melt the foundation here at Babylon the Great, aka America. All right. Like as an arrow, which is shot of a mighty archer, returneth not backward. In this and in this instance, it's talking about an actual arrow. Okay. When you think about it, you actually shoot an arrow. Does it turn back and you can grab it? You can be like, all right, hey, don't hit the mark. Come back over here. Right? No, they're giving Yahweh Bashmi Al-Shah is giving you the visualization. All right. Now, reading on, it says, even so the plagues, now referring back to the ICBM nuclear missiles, that shall be sent upon the earth shall not return again. Right? Because these missiles, when you push that fucking button, all these other nations that have bended the bow, when they push that button, those missiles are gonna fly, man. They're not gonna return. They're not gonna be like, oh shit, push the button to call them back. Nah, man, ain't none of that shit. All right. It's a one-way trip. All right. You push that bitch, and they're gonna be launched, man. They're gonna be launched, and that one-way trip is gonna be all the way over here to the west, Babylon the Great, aka America. Right? Woe is me, woe is me. All right. And this is Esdras, speaking about this. Who will deliver me in those days? Right. So he was going through it, man. He saw the vision and it actually made him sick to his stomach, man, to the point where he was afraid. All right. He was utterly disgusted about the shit that was happening here. But also, he was fearful of that nuclear fire, man. He's like, who shall deliver me in those days? This proves reincarnation, man. He knew that he was going to have to come back and be reincarnated into this modern day and age, right? But at the end of the day, look, those ICBM nuclear missiles, man, they are nothing to fuck around with, all right? They are truly going to create that lake of fire real soon, all right? Let's actually grab the book. He just hit the spirit. Might as well grab it. There it is. Malachi 4:1. The brother know what I'm talking about. All right. It says, oh shit. Okay. For behold, the day cometh that shall burn as an oven. You know how uncomfortable an oven is when you open it and it's already been preheating for a certain amount of time. You got it preheated to like what, 350 degrees, right? And you open it and when it's ready, you got that overwhelming wave of heat that hits you in the face and you're just like, oh shit, like it's uncomfortable. You don't like it. You don't like that intense heat that's pushing up on your face, right? But look, it's going to be so much more worse. All right, when that thermonuclear fire hits, right, when it starts to wipe away Babylon the Great, aka America, all right, it's going to be something unfathomable. That is going to be an excruciatingly hot heat, all right, and it's going to be excruciatingly painful, all right. And all the proud, yea, and all that do wickedly shall be stubble, all right, literally turned into nothing, turned into dust, straw, all right. You ever seen when a wasteland is actually burnt? We get a lot of those wildfires out here in Texas when it's really hot during the summer. It's just the brush is so dry and hot that it just catches on fire. All right. And literally when the fire is passed over it or through it, literally it's left to naught, right? To nothing. It's literally left to stubble. All right. Let's see what that word stubble means. All right. It says to cut stalks of cereal plants left sticking, left sticking out of the ground. Let's see, straw. It says short, stiff hairs growing on the body part. Look, these niggas, man, they be wilding sometimes with the definitions. But you get the point, right? You're gonna be left to naught, right? It says, and the day that shall come shall burn them up, saith the Lord Yahweh of hosts, right, of armies, that it shall leave them neither roots nor branch. Meaning what? You're going to be left to nothing. There's not going to be no recollection of your existence here, man. Right? You're going to be left to naught. It says neither root nor branch. That means there's going to be nothing of you, man. Understand that. You're going to be left to nothing. Right? Babylon the Great, aka America, is going to be utterly destroyed by that thermonuclear fire. And it tells you that this place is going to be a desolate wasteland, man. A desolate wasteland. A desert. Literally for desert creatures. All right? You should be in fear when you see the servants, the prophets of Yahweh Shai, highways and hedges, man. When you see a sincere servants, the prophets of Yahweh Shai out there on the highways and hedges, telling you that the end is soon to come, we're bringing forth, the scriptures and what's going on today, the signs. All right, you should be utterly afraid, and I'm talking about you, so-called blacks, Latinos, Native Indians, us so-called Hebrew Israelites. You should be afraid to see us out there on the highways and hedges, starting with the elders and apostles, great millstone, all the way down to us at the lowest level. Right. And grab this last one, 2 Peter chapter 3, verse 10. All right. Since I quoted it earlier, might as well bring it out as well. All right. This place is going to be utterly melted with fervent heat. All right. All right. The book of 2 Peter chapter 3, verse 10. It says, but the day of the Lord will come as a thief in the night. All right. Which is unexpectedly, right? All of a sudden. All right. In which the heavens shall pass away with a great noise, and the elements shall what? Melt. Melt with fervent heat. The earth also and the works that are therein shall be burned up. All right, so the works that are here, which is all the fucking buildings, the cars, the vehicles, the fucking gas lines, all this bullshit already here. Literally, America, Babylon the Great, aka America, is literally a ticking time bomb anyway, man. All right? So this place is literally going to utterly be destroyed by that thermonuclear fire, but that fire is going to be so hot that it's going to melt rock. The foundation of the ground is going to melt. And also, people in general are comprised of elements, right? And it tells you that literally your face shall melt, in the sockets and in your tongue. Roughly paraphrasing it, if I can find that, I'll grab it. I got to. It's like, bear with me. I gotta find that scripture. But in other words, it just goes to show you, man, look, America is going to be utterly destroyed, man, and utterly burnt and melted with that thermonuclear fire, man. All right. Let me see if I can grab that scripture. Melt in their sides. Found it. All right, let's share the screen again real quick. You don't think I'm just talking out of my ass. All right, let's go back to this website with the scriptures. We're gonna grab the book of Zechariah. Fire, damn. I get excited bringing these scriptures up. 12. All right. So pertaining to that thermonuclear, fire, right, and being burned to death, right? This is the book of Zechariah, chapter 14 and 12. It says, and this shall be the plague wherewith the Lord Yahweh will smite all the people that have fought against Jerusalem, right? Remember, Jerusalem is a people before it's a place, all right? So all the people that fought against Jerusalem, their flesh shall consume away while they stand upon their feet, and their eyes shall consume away in their holes, and their tongue shall consume away in their mouth. All right, via what? That thermonuclear fire, man, that's going to be sent over here via the thermonuclear missiles, those ICBM nuclear missiles from all these other nations that bend the boat. All right, it is going to utterly destroy this place and melt this place with fervent heat, pertaining to the book of 2 Timothy chapter 3, verse 10. And the people are comprised of elements that they're going to what? They're going to melt Their flesh shall consume away while they stand upon their feet, and their eyes shall consume away in their holes, and their tongue shall consume away in their mouths. Need I say any more, man? Need I say any more? All right. So at the end of the day, you need to understand that World War III is inevitable, and that thermonuclear fire is soon to come to Babylon the Great, aka America, via those ICBM nuclear missiles. All right. So that's all the scriptures that I had to bring forth. I'm gonna check the comment board, see what's up with the brothers, see what they got on here. Shalom to everybody on the comment board. Shalom, Yahweh Bashim, Yahweh Barak. Thanks to all of you. Let's see real quick. Translation, please. Bear with me. I'm just reading something. Yeah. I knew I was thinking about it. You know, the water, brother, the water. All right, this is the book of Habakkuk, chapter 2, verse 3. All right. For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, meaning though it like prolongs, or though it, seems like it's taking a little while to come into pass or come into fruition, wait for it, because it will surely come, it will not tarry. All right. So when we bring these scriptures for telling you that World War III is inevitable and that thermonuclear fire is soon to come to pass, all right, just because you don't see it happening right then and there when we speak, that doesn't mean it's not going to happen. All right, that does not mean it's not going to happen. So for you unbelievers that do not believe that thermonuclear, destruction is going to come here to Babylon the Great, aka America, you are in for a rude awakening. All right, you're in for a rude awakening because it's soon going to come to pass. It may be at that very moment that you heard the word, and all hell has broken loose, and you still don't believe. It may be that very same day, man, that the elect and the 1/3 remnant taken up into the chariots, and that alarm that basically is telling you that there's incoming missiles, right? That IDF missile alarm, right here in Babylon the Great, aka America. You're gonna hear that shit, and right then and there, you might utterly be destroyed. I'm not saying that that's gonna happen, but it could happen that way, man. We just never know, right? So at the end of the day, that's all the scripts that I had to bring forth. I don't want to beat a dead horse, all right? I brought this out that this lesson is edifying and exhorting unto our people, so-called blacks, Latinos, Native Indians, us, Hebrew Israelites, all right? So closing out, giving the much due, all praises, honor and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Watahaha Kodash Shabashamayim, all right? Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone that rule well and teach well, and peace and salutations to the hopeful elect scattered abroad. The you sincere Aki and Mo'akwa that tuned in, and I should tune in afterwards. I brought this out that this lesson is edifying and exhorting unto you. All right, closing out with DTA, Abad Babal soon. All right, Death to America. Right, DTA, Abad Babal. Right, destroy confusion, man. Destroy confusion. Right, because Babylon the Great, aka America, is this confused ass place. All right, and is going to be utterly destroyed. All right, thus saith the Lord, not me. Thus, that's His words. All right, so Shalom.